Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Serrano, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the UMIDIGI A9 versus the Samsung Galaxy A03s. So both of these devices are going to be really solid budget phones in the entry-level department, and which means you can pretty much pick one up for like your sister or your brother, maybe as a gift for the holidays, because it's going to be really affordable, and you're going to be able to basically pick one of these up for a family member, or yourself, right? If you really do enjoy budget technology just like myself. But both of these devices are going to be really extremely solid. They're both really stylish phones, and they're going to offer a really good, they're going to be really good for the price point. So I kind of want to just jump into it right here. We're going to be covering the UMIDIGI A9 on the the left, and the Samsung Galaxy A03s. So when it comes to the build quality, you're going to notice on the sides, both of these do have the volume rocker and the power button on the same side. But we do get the power button on the side of the A03s right here, which is going to double up as a fingerprint sensor, right? It's basically going to double up as the fingerprint sensor and the power button. So it's going to have two functions for it. So that's pretty cool that it does have a power button on side of the fingerprint as well. We do get the rear facing fingerprint on the UMIDIGI A9. So I just want to be transparent about that we will get the rear facing fingerprint sensor on there. But basically the button placement is pretty much similar on the right hand side, except for the volume rockers, right? So let's take a look at the cameras. You can see that the cameras are a little bit more flush on the UMIDIGI, the A03s. It doesn't rock when it's on the table, only a little bit because of that slight bump on the back. Now let's try the UMIDIGI A9. There's just a slightly more of a wobble on the table, but nothing really too crazy. So you can see that when you put both devices up top to bottom, they're both 6.5 inches, with the exception of the UMIDIGI A9. It's a 6.53 inch, but they're both HD plus displays. You can see the branding on the back of there as well. Turning it to the other side, we do get your SIM remover slot for your SD card as well, and your SIM card for the Nano on the bottom. Type-C on both. Headphone jack on this one, but microphones and speakers on both on the bottom. And then the headphone jack is going to be on the UMIDIGI A9 at the top, and then just a microphone up top on the the A03s. So there are two microphones on the A03s, but only one on the UMIDIGI A9. So I just want to be 100% with you right there. So just keep that in mind when you're doing phone calls. There's going to be two microphones on the Samsung. So let's just power these guys on and talk about the displays on both of these things. So you can see we get the Samsung Galaxy on the right, and the UMIDIGI A9 on the left, and both of these are going to be pretty solid when it comes to the displays, and I'll just get right into that. But they both have one of them has a 20:9 aspect ratio. That's the Samsung Galaxy A03s. So it's going to be slightly more narrow in the hand for operation. So it's a little bit easier to reach on the A03s versus the UMIDIGI, because the UMIDIGI is going to be 19:5.9. But we're going to get more screen resolution on the UMIDIGI with 82% screen to body ratio versus 81 on the Samsung. So you can see that the Samsung did power up just slightly quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my pin, and we're already in. And now the UMIDIGI is starting up right now. So let me just go ahead and enter my pin on this guy as well. But you can see that the screens are pretty good. You will see that the viewing angles aren't like the best in the world. So when I put the Samsung down, you can see the viewing angles changed, and they will slightly change when you put them down on a surface. But when it comes to the overall weight, the Samsung is going to be slightly the Samsung slightly lighter in the hand to the UMIDIGI, because the UMIDIGI has a bigger battery. So I just want to throw that out there, that the UMIDIGI will have the bigger battery when it comes to these guys, because it's going to have the 5150 milliamp hour battery versus the 5000. So it's the 5150 on the UMIDIGI versus the 5000 milliamp hour battery on the Samsung. So they're both going to have pretty similar actual battery performance on both of these things, and they're both going to have Android 11, with the exception of the UMIDIGI having like a more, you know, lightweight. Well, it's going to have more of a stock feel to it versus the One UI 3.1 on the Samsung. So just keep that in mind, that you will kind of have more of a stock feel on the UMIDIGI, and you won't get an app tray on the UMIDIGI. So I just want to be 100% that you won't get that on here. I pretty much checked everywhere. It's not available, but you will get that app tray on the Samsung, and you will get a lot of cool apps on both of these guys. So I definitely like the user experience when it comes to both. So let's just go down to settings. And when you go into settings, you're going to notice that they have a similar look, but different features. We get the thermometer on the UMIDIGI. We also do get this shortcut key, which is pretty cool. You can hit that and you can basically open up your thermometer, double click it, it's going to open up that Zello thing. But I think there is a way to deactivate that and change it to be like any shortcut key that you actually want. So you can see it takes a little bit of time to open that up, so it's kind of annoying when it does open up. But you know, I do know that UMIDIGI does push out, you know, some updates on these guys when it comes to their, you know, smartphones. They do push out some updates, from mostly security patches, but I did see that there were some updates pushed out before in the past. And when it comes to the panels, they are very similar. So if you were to browse like social media or something on both of these things, it's going to be pretty much a similar experience. So let's just go into Meta real quick and just see the difference when it comes to the scrolling speeds. I'm going to put the brightness all the way up right now so you can see that right now. So that's just to see which one is better when it comes to the overall brightness. So let me just turn the Samsung up. The UMIDIGI is already all the way up. And let me know which one looks better. But you can see the UMIDIGI has a wider display on there. So let me just put I thought I had do not disturb on here, but I didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on, and let's reload these at the same time. All right, cool. So you can see right here, they both will have pretty decent scrolling speeds. Let's just test that out. So pretty decent scrolling speeds on these guys. I'm scrolling through, and it does appear that the UMIDIGI A9 does appear to be a little bit quicker when it comes to the scrolling speed. So I just want to keep it a buck with you guys and let you know that the UMIDIGI is covering a lot more ground. I'm not sure why I'm not getting too much scroll when it comes to the A03s. I guess it's taking some time to load, but they're both running on the same network, and you can see the scrolling speeds are just slightly better on the UMIDIGI A9 for some reason. Now the Samsung is going to have a macro lens as well as a you know, if you go into the Samsung right here, you will notice that we do get a macro. Let me see if I'll show you guys right now. Go into the camera, and you can see there's a triple camera setup right there. So if you go to more, you get the portrait and the macro on here, but on the UMIDIGI A9, it's the wide angle and the portrait that we're getting. So they got rid of the macro. Let me just enter my thing because it said I mistouched on the fingerprint. So if you go into the camera on this one, you will notice that it is going to be that wide angle camera as well as the portrait. So you do get those two options, and you do get a better, you know, front facing camera on the UMIDIGI for some reason. So it does say that the UMIDIGI has an 8 megapixel and the Samsung has a 5. So I just want to be 100% honest. Let me just take a quick photo with my face so you can see that, and I'll probably just do a portrait because that's a lot easier. And let's just hit that, and let's just take a quick photo of my face, and you guys let me know which one looks better right now. So okay, I just took that. It does look like the UMIDIGI did take a better photo with the 8 megapixel front facing camera. There was just a lot more detail on my face. There's a little bit of lag here on the A03s. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, the A03s does look really good, and so does the UMIDIGI A9. So it just depends on your, your personal preference. I was able to get some bright, it's brighter on the A03s for some reason, but on the UMIDIGI there's like more detail or something like that. So I look darker on the A9 versus the Samsung. So I think I look more like the UMIDIGI just because I'm not that light. I have like a tan type look, so that's the only thing that's different about them. Now, as far as the gaming performance on the UMIDIGI A9, it's the MediaTek Helio G25 running the show with a 12-nanometer processing chip, and that's going to be clocked in at 2 gigahertz as well. We're also getting the IMG PowerVR GE8320, which is going to be coupled with 3 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of internal storage. It's also going to pack UFS storage 2.1 with the SD card slot, accelerometer, proximity sensor, gyroscope, compass on here, as well as the light sensor and thermometer as well. So no gaming modes on here, but like I said, the battery is going to be pretty solid. It does have pretty decent performance as well. So the G25 will be pretty decent. It's not going to be the craziest experience you've ever had in the entire world, but you will be able to get first blood, and you will be able to get competition when it comes to using this thing. So basically, performance is actually pretty decent on this guy. Now, as far as the performance on the Samsung Galaxy A03s, we are getting the MediaTek Helio P35 one here. You can see it goes up to medium frame rate, and it's going to be pretty decent because it's got, it's not going to be a gaming phone, but you can play like PUBG, Call of Duty with this guy. PowerVR GE8320 as well, 3 gigabytes of RAM coupled with 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and we are getting some pretty decent speeds on here. So we do have the accelerometer, light sensor, proximity sensor, and fingerprint, but we don't have the gyroscope or anything, or anything of that nature. So I just want to be 100% honest with you. So you can't really, dominate the game, with this guy. It's gonna be pretty decent. Oh, I did get that. That was crazy. You can get second blood. You will be able to get first blood too. Oh damn. So they were coming out from the side, but so far it is a pretty decent gaming experience with this guy. But you can game. You won't be able to compete at a high level or anything like that. But I just want to let you guys know that it will be playable and everything like that. Now these phones will be pretty equal, but if I had to choose, I'd probably go with the UMIDIGI just because it has that freedom to move apps to the SD card. I think you can still do it with the A03s after they did the updates, but also the battery is going to be slightly better on the UMIDIGI A9 as well. You might get some more updates that you're not going to get on the UMIDIGI A9 that you will get on the Samsung, but I just would prefer the more battery as well. And that wider screen is pretty cool to have, facial recognition. They do offer the side-mounted fingerprint sensor on this Samsung, which is definitely pretty cool. So let me just unlock this with my PIN because it said I misentered my PIN or whatever. So really solid when it comes to the performance on both of these guys, but in my preference, I'll probably choose the UMIDIGI just because it's going to be a little bit, the screen is going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit better battery, slightly better display on here as well. But they do offer the headphone jack on both of these guys. The microphone is going to be at the top and bottom of the Samsung, but we only get one at the bottom of the UMIDIGI. But it's pretty close. It's really close. But let me know down below which one you would choose, and I'll be in the comment section right now to answer all your questions. I'll make sure you leave a like on the video on your way out to show your support and appreciation as well. And I'm gonna get right back with you. But in the meantime, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and depending on where you are. Later, crew. Peace. I'll check you guys later. I'll get right back with you. Peace.